Right now, we want to tell you an instructive story from the famous physician of centuries past, Avicenna. This story demonstrates the intelligence, wisdom, and understanding of physical laws possessed by this healer. The wisdom of Avicenna and the nobleman's daughter. In ancient times, in a city where turquoise domes shone like a jewel in the heart of the desert, lived a girl named Lala, raised in a noble and aristocratic family. Her face was so beautiful it seemed as if the Creator had used all his artistic talent in her creation. Her hair was like strands of black silk, and when she rode her white horse, Barak, the desert wind would make it flutter like a victory banner. But fate had a dark day in store for her. During one of her daily gallops, Barak suddenly stumbled into a hidden pit, and Lala fell from the saddle like a wisp of straw. A cry, like the sound of a shattering canary, pierced the air. When the servants brought her back to the palace, the city's physicians unanimously concluded after examination, this lady's hip bone has been displaced from its natural socket and can only be restored with a skilled manual adjustment. However, Lala, raised in a culture steeped in modesty and virtue, would not even allow the physicians to approach her. Her father, Mirza Muhammad, a man of high status and great wealth, brought all the healers of Khorasan to his daughter's bedside, but Lala, with tearful eyes, would say, "I prefer death to dishonor." Gradually, the flower Lala began to wither. The relentless pain had stolen sleep and peace from her eyes. Her father, consumed by grief, grew pale and hollow-eyed. At the height of their despair, the caravan of Avicenna, the unparalleled genius of the scientific world, arrived near the city. Mirza Muhammad went to the sheikh's camp and said with hopeful eyes, "O you, who hold the secrets of nature in your hand, if you heal my daughter, I will give you half of my wealth." Avicenna replied with philosophical calm, "I will heal her without the slightest direct contact, on the condition that you procure a very fat cow for me." The father immediately purchased the best cow from the local herds. A cow so plump it radiated prosperity. The sheikh instructed his disciples, "Confine this cow in a stable for 2 days and nights and do not give it a single drop of water or blade of fodder." The disciples exclaimed in surprise, "Master, the animal will die in agony." Avicenna replied, "Do not worry, every plan requires its own appropriate time." After 2 days, the cow, once a symbol of fatness, was now little more than a moving skeleton. On the appointed day, Lala was placed on a palanquin of sandalwood and brought before the sheikh. Avicenna ordered, "Seat the girl carefully on the back of this cow." He then commanded, "Tie her legs together under the cow's belly with a rope made of Egyptian cotton." When everything was ready, the sheikh ordered, "Bring fresh fodder and clear water for the cow." The deprived cow began to eat with indescribable greed. With each mouthful, its belly swelled, tightening the ropes. Then it was time for water. The cow gulped down bucket after bucket. At these critical moments, Lala writhed in pain. Her father watched Avicenna with anxiety. The sheikh said reassuringly, "Be patient, my daughter, your cure is very near." He then ordered, "Dissolve some salt in the next bucket." The cow, its thirst now doubled, drank the salty water even more greedily. Suddenly, a clear crack sound echoed through the air. Avicenna smiled and said, "Praise God, the bone has returned to its proper place." Lala had fainted, but when she awoke, to everyone's astonishment, she could stand without pain. A week later, she was again riding Barak through the gardens, as if she had never been injured, and that cow, which had become a symbol of the sheikh's unparalleled wisdom, became his property. The people of the city passed this story down through generations and wrote above the doors of physicians' clinics, "True wisdom is to find a cure not only for the body but also for the soul." And so, Avicenna not only reset a girl's hip bone but also taught the world a great lesson in creativity, respect for human values, and the art of healing.
Enjoyed this? Subscribe for more.